Hello everyone, today's video is going to be on the shelf. I'm gonna do this a little differently. I have numbers in this little like folded section, and I have numbers in this section. I have enough to do like 5 or 6 different books, and then I'm just gonna pick at random. So shelf number 1, book number 2, shelf 1, book 2. That book is The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo by Stieg Larsson. Yep, this is the first book in the Millennium Trilogy. It's a series of 3 books. There is a movie. There's 2 movies on this, the Swedish version and the American version. Both amazing. I prefer the American, but that doesn't matter because it's still really good. I gave this book 5 out of 5 stars. I had picked this up because I had I watched the American version. Loved the movie. Then I was like, oh, let me watch the Swedish version. Loved the movie. I ordered all the books on eBay and I was like, oh, I need to read them, but then I never got around to it. And then I just recently read this one last month in Booktubeathon. I read it really fast and it was so good though. 5 out of 5 stars. It's an amazing book. I highly recommend it if you like mystery, thriller type books. Just so good. It's so good. So good. Shelf 8 and book number 10. I'll be right back. The second book is Wuthering Heights by Emily Bronte. I bought this book off of eBay. This is the Borders classic books. Borders. Remember that? Remember that place, Borders? They used to exist once upon a time. I remember I was super ecstatic with it because this book is like in mint condition and I paid like $3 for it. But I've always heard, this is one of those classics that you always hear people talking about, or it's always referenced in a movie. So I really want to watch it, but I've always also heard a lot of people reading it during Christmas time. So I decided I'm going to wait till Christmas time to read Emily Bronte's Wuthering Heights. So maybe that way I'll get more in the mood. I really don't know. I'll see. I'll see. But I'm very excited to read this because I've heard nothing but good things about this book. So yeah, Emily Bronte's Wuthering Heights. Also, I really want to read this because of Twilight. Shelf 3, book 7, which is right behind me. And the third book I'm showing you is The Short Life of Bree Tanner and Eclipse Novella by Stephanie Meyer. I bought this when it first came out. Oh my god. Yep, this is definitely a first edition. Just making sure I was right. I read this. Okay, you know, I was just really excited when this book came out because I wanted more Stephanie Meyer. I had already read all the Twilight series. I had already read The Host. And I was dying for some Stephanie Meyer. So when I saw this was coming out, I was ecstatic. I loved the book. It was really nice to see, you know, even though you know what happens to this girl and you know she ends up dying, it was still really awesome to get, you know, for people who love Stephanie Meyer and her writing and her books and stuff, just to kind of get those feels back because it's just so, like, it's perfection. I love it. So it was really nice getting to read this. I thoroughly enjoyed it. 5 out of 5 stars from me. Shelf 2, book 4. Shelf 2, book 4. 1, 2, 3. Oh! The next book is Eleanor Bark by Rainbow Rowell. I love a lot of 2 of the books that I've chosen are ones I've recently talked about. I love this book. 5 out of 5 stars. I remember, I honestly just found out about BookTube a couple months before I started my actual BookTube. Like maybe a month before I started, I had actually found out that BookTube existed. I'm pretty sure I knew that people like did BookTube and, you know, reviewed and stuff, but I never got into it. I was more into like the beauty side, but then I don't know how I came into it. So before I got into BookTube, you know, I had already wanted to buy this book, but I was like, no, I have so many books, Stephanie. You have to read those books. But then I heard people talking about it. I was like, F it, I'm going to go out and buy it. And I was reading Winter's Tale. And my problem was I was taking too long with it. I got really busy and I wasn't reading every day. That's annoying when that happens. And the book's really big. Winter's Tale by Mark Halperin is like a huge book. So I was just in a reading slump and I needed something fast, and I heard people saying this one was fast. So I started reading it and I finished it the next day because I started really late at night. It took me maybe like 4 or 5 hours to read this. Like 4. I think 4 hours to read this entire book. It's short and that's what I took my time with it. but the book is just so amazing. It literally just gets you in the mood to read. And I love books with a passion that make you do that, because Twilight did that for me. It made me want to read a million more books. Most of the books on my red shelf were after Twilight, my senior year of high school. So this is an amazing book, and I highly recommend them. I highly recommend all the books, except for the ones I haven't read, obviously, like Wuthering Heights. I haven't read that. Shelf 4, book 12, which is right behind me. So let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Another one that I have just recently talked about. Betwixt by, what's her name, Tara Brace Smith. I gave this 3 out of 5 stars, not because I didn't actually like the plot in this book, but it was because of the way it was written out. But I will read a sequel if there's a sequel to this. Like, I know that the second book's gonna be better. Like, it has to be better. It took a really long time to start up and like get building and all that stuff, but once it got there, it was really good. Like, the last like little chunk of the book was like really good. It was just one of those books that, you know, it takes a really long time to start up, and that kind of dragged on too much. But once it got there, it got going, got good, it got going. I don't know what I was trying to say. Shelf 6, book number 1. Yeah, but these are the books I haven't hauled yet, so you're gonna see this again later. And that is a, what is it? A Soldier of the Great War, a novel by Mark Halperin. It's a beast of a book. This guy, but it's too big of books. I got this. I have yet to read it, of course. I got this because I really loved his style of writing in Winter's Tale. I love Winter's Tale. And this, I believe, if I'm correct, you can comment or dislike this video if I'm wrong on this. But how about you like this video if I'm wrong? Just kidding. No, but if I'm correct without looking inside, it's about a man who goes to the war. And when he comes back, I could have swore he like tells this like kid about his stories in the war. And that's kind of like how the book's written, him recounting his story. So I'm very excited. I got it used online for like $4, and there's like it's the pages are like intact. It's so pretty. So I'm very excited to read this because I like Mark Halperin's writing, and I just wanted to, you know, just to get more into it and see if I really like it. I don't have books like his. I read a lot of young adult or mystery novels, like adult mystery novels and stuff. So we'll see. We'll see. We'll see. This is like literature. Like legit. Like if you're thinking of literature, this is what this is. But we'll see how I like it. The next book is coming from shelf 7 because I lost one of the thingies, and it is book number 15, and this will be the last book. The last book is an unread book, and it is Ego Boom. The Ego Boom. Why the World Really Does Revolve Around You by Steve Mink and Leanne George. It seems like a really interesting book. Not gonna lie. I have yet to read it, and I want to know why the world revolves around me. Because I already know that, but I don't know why. Just kidding. I'm really not that vain or narcissistic or big-headed. But it seriously seemed like a really random, interesting book to just like find at the store. So I want to read this soon, actually. This is definitely on like the top of my TBR list. But I think it's interesting why why did you guys write this? I mean, because I know it goes on to talk about like how advertising is on about you, and which is true, because Google is creepy and like knows that and like remembers the things that you search, and like when you see advertisement, it goes with the things that you've searched in the past. So for all you people who search bad things, I wonder what your advertisement looks like. I love though how every book on my that I got from my red shelf except for one was one I've recently mentioned. I guess I just needed to remind you guys of them. That's what this taught me. So yeah, I'm probably going to be doing another one of these in a few months once I have more books, new books that I have maybe not have talked about, or older books that I haven't talked about. One of the two. So I'll see you guys next time. Bye.